Hello, it's me James and welcome back to another episode of Simply Survival. This is the series where I like to show you tips, tricks and tutorials, and of course, we like to do this in complete survival. Oh damn, that was scary. In today's video, we are going to be going through the top 6 most useful tips and glitches that are currently in the game at the moment. Remember, for the latest information about bugs and glitches, you can head over to the Jam Farm Discord server, which is actually where I got a few of the glitches which you are going to see in today's list. With that being said, let's jump straight on into this. In no particular order, number 1, I'm gonna go with the Regen Dupe. This one was mentioned a couple times in the Jam Farm Discord server, and it basically goes a little bit like this. I've got a few items set up down here, so I'm not actually going to set up any more items. You can see that they are set up in a particular formation like this, and that is because each one of these blocks are in their own chunk. So what I'm going to do is do it to the diamonds and the gold right now. So these are currently saved in their own chunk. The game remembers these blocks in this chunk. So what I'm going to do is fully remove all of these right now as fast as I physically can. I also will need to remove this path like so. And then I'm going to do exactly the same to the gold. Now, ideally, you don't want to drop any in the void like I did, but I'm in a little bit of a rush. Then, we're going to fly the opposite side, which is actually the west side. And I'm going to fly all the way past the center, well, what will be the center of your main island. And I'm going to go all the way west. And then, once I'm happy that I've gone far enough, I'm just going to head back. Now, this should actually regenerate the blocks in that chunk, meaning we should get some diamonds and some gold, and of course the glass that they were sitting on. So if we just go back, you can see that the gold is actually back. I can't see the diamonds. That might mean that we may have to go a little bit further, but you can see that the gold is fully back. I'm going to fly this way, see if we can get the diamonds to come back. Well, no diamonds, which is pretty unfortunate, but we did get the gold. I'm thinking it's something to do with the speed in which I actually remove them. I'm not entirely sure. Either way, the Regen Dupe. I'm going to put a full link in the description below to explain this a little bit better. But yeah, the Regen Dupe, that's number 1. I've been playing Simply Survival for coming up to 3 years now, and although I do not have any huge builds in this world, my world is still 1,432 megabytes, which is 1.4 gig, which is very, very, very big. At least, it's pretty big. And it basically comes down to this one disk. My world is that big because of this disk. Let me explain. Before searching for the disk, my world was quite literally 600 megabytes. That is it. Now, because my world is an old world, I had to go and find new chunks to go and find a dungeon or a new stronghold to find the disk. I searched for so long looking for dungeons, and honestly, it was really, really not great. But why am I telling you all this right now in this video? Well, it leads me on to number 2, which is X-ray glitches. Halfway through me looking for that disc, I decided to use X-ray glitches. That was definitely one of the best decisions I made regarding my world. See, if I didn't use the X-ray glitches at that point to look for dungeons, who knows, my world could be absolutely massive right now. So, basically, long story short, it was worth cheating to save the size of my world, because, honestly, I want to play this world forever. So yeah, here's 3 X-ray glitches that you can use in your survival world. Number 1, piston, lever, half slab. Dig yourself a little trench in the ground like this, and make sure you dig out 2 from that one and place down your half slab. You're going to want to stand on top of your half slab, grab your piston, and then grab one of those blocks you just broke out, place it in front of you, and grab your lever, place it on the piston, and then activate it, and all you have to do is crouch, and you will actually activate an X-ray glitch. This one is actually really, really useful. You can see quite a lot. Of course, if you have a night vision potion, you will be able to see a lot more. So yeah, there's number 1. X-ray glitch number 2, the top snow X-ray glitch. Now, all you have to do is go into this perspective and then simply go really slowly into the top snow, and you will actually activate another X-ray glitch. Now, this one is not as good, although this doesn't just work in the mountain areas. If you just place yourself some top snow on the floor, you can replicate this effect anywhere in the world. So, and then you want to stand in the middle, just like so, and of course, use that little trick like that, and you can see whatever is underground. Number 3 is actually my personal favorite. All you need is to grab yourself a couple pieces of sand and find a little area like this. And then what I'm going to do is stand here and place the sand on my head, and I will start taking suffocation damage. But if I go out very slightly, crouching, I can actually stay in the block and then have a little look about around. Now, we can't actually see too much there, but that is probably because that is a mountain. If I go to another area like this, I'll just perform the glitch again. Couple pieces of sand, back up. You can see, I can see a lot more. Of course, remember, this is going to be a lot better if you have a night vision potion on. Another one mentioned over in the Discord was speed animals, specifically speed horses. These things are obviously really, really good and useful for traveling in your world. I'm not going to show you how to do this again. I'm going to put a link in the description below, giving you a full tutorial on how you can breed yourself a speed horse. Again, you can actually make speed pigs and speed donkeys, pretty much any animal you can breed. Next up, I'm going to show you how to make infinite water from this one bucket of water. You are going to need some cauldrons and some glass bottles as well. Actually, this one is kind of like a 2-in-1, so yeah, let's get into it. First of all, you will need your bucket. Place down your bucket of water, and of course, place down a couple of cauldrons. Now, if you get these glass bottles, you can quite literally, from this one bucket, fill as many glass bottles as you can. Literally, they will start going out of my inventory because I don't have enough room to hold them. But you can see I can quite literally do all of these glass bottles that I have in my inventory right now if I really wanted to. Obviously, I'm not going to do them all because I have nowhere to store them. But that's where our cauldrons come in. From this one bit of water, we can literally place down 3, giving us a full cauldron, and then we can grab that out in a bucket. And now we can combine our original bucket of water with the new bucket of water, giving us an infinite source block of water. And then of course we can fill up our cauldrons. So that's how you would get infinite water from one bucket of water. But what is the other trick? Well, let me show you. From one cauldron, you can actually only get 3 bottles of water, which is actually like terrible. That is beyond terrible if you ask me, because from the exact same amount of water as shown before, you can quite literally get unlimited bottles of water. What I'm trying to say is, do not use a cauldron to fill up your bottles of water. It is just pointless. You can quite literally just use a single spot of water instead. The next glitch on the list is the super OP 0-tick Kelp Farm. And believe it or not, you can actually do a fair amount of stuff with kelp. Let me show you. Use number 1, if you're hungry, you can quite literally eat it. And if you're not hungry, you can craft it into blocks, use it as decoration or fuel. In addition to this, you can put normal kelp through a composter, giving yourself some bone meal. Another really useful use of kelp is it is practically infinite water. As you can see, I've got 1 bucket of water. I'm going to make this... Oh god, that wasn't supposed to happen. I'm going to make this infinite. You can see that by placing kelp blocks, of course, I'll have to remove this block first, but by placing kelp all the way up, we will now make infinite water. All we have to do is remove this, and yeah, we are good to go. This is good for like bubble columns and stuff like this. You know, sometimes it's a little bit difficult carrying around so many buckets of water. And finally, before I forget, you can actually get XP from kelp just by smelting it. You can use the kelp itself to smelt the kelp, and then you can get yourself a little bit of XP. Again, you would have to do this on a massive scale to actually make it worth it, but I mean, if you did set up something, I suppose you could get a fair amount. Now, that's all of the uses for kelp I can think of. Maybe I've missed them. If I have, let me know in the comments below. I'm gonna put a full tutorial of this machine that you can see behind me in the description below. For the final one, I'm going to use this copy of Simply Survival. It's literally exactly the same, just a normal world copy, not a realm. Basically, last one is kind of a last resort save, or yeah, we'll call it a last resort save if you want. So I'm going to fall down to this void, and as you can see, I've literally got nothing that is going to save me. However, watch what I'm going to do to try and save, you know, what stuff I actually have, my wings and all that, and of course, my beloved levels. I'm going to jump down the void, and yeah, I'm actually going to save myself without any rockets or anything. So let's do this. And all I'm going to do is exit out of the game. Of course, this is most definitely a last resort option. Sometimes it can actually go wrong, but like I said, it is an amazing last resort option. If you really don't have any other option, you could actually potentially save your stuff. So we're going to go back onto this world, and you will see that we will not be falling down the void anymore. In fact, we will be in the safe and sound, because the world will have kind of reverted backwards to our previous save. Of course, it would take a while loading whilst we are recording. Come on. And there we go. Oh, damn. We are actually standing right next to the void. But yeah, you can see it's a pretty neat trick. I managed to save my 24,791 levels. And for anyone wondering if this works in lava, well, oh god, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. The answer is yes. It definitely works with lava as well. Pretty much any way that you're about to die, just quickly exit out of the game, and you could potentially save all of your stuff. There we go. There are my top 6 most useful tricks and glitches available in the most current update of the game. That's all I've got time for today. I'll catch you on the next one.